Hi, I'm Kate Haggerty, CEO and founder of Soul Purpose. Welcome to this week's Soul Purpose Snippets. I do a weekly video every Wednesday where we talk about a different topic, and today's topic is 8 ways to increase your intuition. Most people don't even think they have intuition. We all do, it's just whether or not we're paying attention to it and whether or not we choose to acknowledge it and strengthen it. So our intuition, many people don't know this, is processed through our right brain. To exercise or strengthen your brain, to have your right brain be more active, you can do things more of visualizing, daydreaming, dance, write, anything creative will help the right brain to strengthen and be more active. The left brain gets plenty of exercise. This is where monkey mind lives. The left brain is where we have chatter. We have the voice that says, stay practical, stay realistic, don't make any changes, don't try anything new. And you know, the left brain is what helps us to stay afraid. It helps us to stay realistic, and it is actually the culprit for what often ends up having us feel unhappy, unfulfilled, and wondering, why am I here? What's the meaning of life? What is my purpose? This is the part of the brain that I help my clients with, and I'll get to that more in a bit. So, can you strengthen your intuition? Absolutely. And there are many ways, and today I'm going to cover 8 with you. The first, and these are not in any particular order, but one of the things that you can do to start is to begin to meditate. And why is meditation important? Because it is about tapping into your heart. It's about being still. It's about listening. Instead of chattering away mentally about all the things that you'd like to have happen, what you'd want, blah, 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 meditation is listening, being still, being centered, and seeing what you get as far as ahas, messages, encouragement. The next thing you can do is to begin to work with a deck of angel cards. Now, when you go to a spiritual bookstore, you're going to find all types of cards. There'll be fairy cards, gemstones, butterflies, archangels, goddess. So I just use angel cards in general as the topic, but one of my favorite decks is Doreen Virtue's Healing with the Angels. So that deck, and most do, come with a guidebook. This particular deck has 44 cards in it, and each day what you'll do is just shuffle the cards and pick 1, 2, I'd say 3 at the most when you're first starting out using a deck. And you're going to pick the card and then look at the guidebook to see what does that card mean. So you'll do that for each one, and then I think it's also good to look at all 3 together. What could that combined message be for you? And some days when I first started using them, I would laugh out loud. There would be days where I decided I didn't have enough time to meditate, so I was just going to run out the door, but I was going to pick a card. And I'll be danged if I didn't pick the card, meditate. So our guides and angels have a really good sense of humor. It's kind of like, yeah, you really shouldn't give that up. The next thing you want to think about is using all 5 senses and paying attention with all 5 senses when you step out of the house. Many of us just get caught up in our routine. We get in the car, we go the same way. We don't really pay attention. So this is about really stepping out, listening, thinking, paying attention to what you see, what you hear, what you feel. The fourth thing is to test out following your intuition versus not. So there might be a day that you decide, I'm going to follow the way I always go to work. And on a different day, you decide, I'm going to go a different way and see what happens. There might be another circumstance where you wake up one day and you say, I feel like wearing blue. So wear red instead and see how your day goes. On a different day, follow what your intuition says. The reason that I'm suggesting this is that you'll start to build a baseline of what it feels like when you follow your intuition versus when you don't. The next thing is to feel instead of think. Thinking gets plenty of exercise, we know that, but feeling is about paying attention with our heart, paying attention to our intuition. When you feel through the day instead of think, just see what you notice and experience instead. It will be different. Another thing is to listen to your body. Now, many of us will probably have past experiences where we can think of that maybe we felt something was off. We were creeped out, our stomach was crunched up, and if we remember, we can also recall what happened. And so it's tapping into that feeling, to your body, when it tells you something's off or something's good, to follow it and see what happens. And another thing is to trust what you get. You'll be real tempted to say, I'm just imagining that, or I'm crazy, but try trusting it. I'll give you an example that when I first moved to New York City, years ago, I did not pay attention to my intuition at all, and I often ended up lost or worse in a couple of really bad neighborhoods. And so when we take that farther, following your intuition can not only help us to have a better experience, it can protect us from difficult situations or even save our life depending on what that situation is. So I want to impress upon you how important it is to pay attention to your intuition, to, like I said, test it out. Because here's the thing, and I'll give you one more trick. When you're not sure what to do, you can always tap into your heart, which is where your intuition will also connect you. And so when you're not sure of something to do, you can close your eyes, put your hand over your heart, and just ask silently, what does my heart say? What does my heart say? And you will get a word, a phrase, or a sentence, and that is your answer. And you need to trust it because it will have come from your heart, not your head, and that's how you'll know that it's true. So what I want to leave you with is that it takes a lot more energy to hold yourself closed than it does to allow yourself to receive. So start using the guidance and intuition that you get so that you can have the good stuff right away. And as I'd like to say, you can avoid the unpleasant ride of chutes and ladders through the dark. So when people ask me, so Kate, what do you do? What is Soul Purpose about? I help professionals who feel stuck in their lives and or their careers. Like I did, they feel called to do something bigger, something that makes a bigger impact in the world, but they don't know what it is. They don't know where to start or how to figure it out. I spent over 30 years in corporate America. I was sure of what I was going to be doing, and I was following that career path. But I did run into that spot where it's like, I know I'm supposed to be doing something else. I feel called to do something bigger. I want to give back. And so I learned through that my purpose is to help other people find theirs. And so I combined the intuitive gifts that I ignored for so long and stopped ignoring, along with being a 3-time certified coach and have had that experience myself as a corporate escapee. I specialize in personalizing a program for each person that I work with and then supporting them through those steps so that they can begin to align their life with what they really came here to do. To learn more about Soul Purpose, to sign up for the newsletter where I cover the topics that I go over in the snippets in more detail, or to learn more about my coaching programs, just connecting with me, any of those things, visit soulpurpose.biz, and that's soulpurpose.biz. And I hope you'll join us next week when our topic will be about letting go takes courage. And what that's about is that sometimes when we change, we start to become stronger, step into our spirituality, people around us may not like it. They may be threatened that they're not going to get what they've always gotten from you before, and they will challenge it. It'll be a scary time because we feel like, oh my gosh, if I let these people go, I'm going to end up alone. And my worst fear will be made true, and that is that I'm not lovable. That's not true. So we're going to talk about that further and how it can be really healthy and necessary to let go of some people, and that when you do, new ones do come in. You won't end up alone. So hope to see you next Wednesday for Letting Go Takes Courage. Have a great week.